Hello guys, thank you once again for tuning into my channel. I am Anthony and I'd like to welcome all of you who have tuned in today. It's my pleasure to record this video today and I pray that it will help someone out there. Today I wanted to speak about something, a very short video, but I'd like to talk about the concept of being truthful, truthfulness in our living, truthfulness in leadership, being truthful in what we do. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have observed something in our country, Kenya, and just based on my own personal observation, I have tried to be balanced about it. I've tried to look at this thing from every angle. I've tried to be objective and not go with the sentiments of the public or my emotion. And it has taken me some time, and I think I have something to say about it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about truthfulness in leadership. In the current situation in Kenya, we have a disconnect between the citizenry and the leadership. The citizenry or the citizens of Kenya feel like no one is listening to them, no one is paying attention to them, no one understands what they are going through, no one feels their pain. And when I say no one, I mean the leadership of the country. So they feel neglected, or we feel, let me not say we feel neglected. We feel like we are on our own. We feel like we are singing to deaf ears, and we feel like we are frustrated. We are really frustrated. And the reason as to why we are frustrated is because we have been agitating for a lot of changes, a lot of prudent spending, a lot of responsible, rulership and governorship, and just the way the government handles itself and the way it carries itself out. We've been calling for more accountability in the way the operations are run. We've been calling for more transparency. We've been calling for more objectivity in government. But we're not getting a response. And human beings were created to be creatures that communicate, creatures of communication. That's why there is a mouth and an ear. Each one has an ear and a mouth. Why? Because you're expected to communicate with your mouth what you feel, and you're also supposed to listen so that you receive feedback from other people. So every person has a mouth and an ear for a reason, to communicate and to receive feedback. So when one group is using their mouth to communicate and the other does not seem to use their ear to receive it, then friction comes, or friction happens. And I think I've thought about this for quite some time, and the president of the land seems not to understand what is happening in Kenya. I don't know if he doesn't understand it because he has not been informed, or he's just deliberately avoiding and ignoring what we are saying, because our voices are loud, are very loud. When you go to any social circles, Kenyans are just venting. Everywhere in the world, even when they're drinking, they're just venting. And that kind of reaction shows you that there's a sort of an anger within the fabric of the Kenyan person. And it's across all gender, it's across all age groups, it's across all the demography of Kenya. And Kenyans are speaking a language. Kenyans are speaking a language very loudly and clearly. I don't know why the political class is not getting the message. and especially the president of the land, because the actions that the president is doing kind of tell a different story from what Kenyans are agitating for. And the body language of the president, the demeanor, the expression, the facial expression, the lack of empathy when speaking really depicts someone who is out of touch with what is happening in the ground. So I don't know if it's a deliberate attempt to ignore the truth of the matter, or I don't know if what is being fed is the accurate information. Either way, as a leader, you need to surround yourself with people who are truthful, people who tell you when you're naked. There's a very famous saying, when the king is naked, okay? People talk about it a lot. I can't remember that how it goes, but it has something to do with the king being naked and not being told the truth. So, as a king, and king I mean a leader in any position that you might find yourself, you do not fill the people around you with friends. You can have some few friends because you trust them, but you also need to have people who are not close to you, in the sense of they are truthful in their dealings. You need to find people who are objective and will tell you the truth, no matter the situation, no matter the circumstance, no matter the time. Because this world operates by truth. Only the truth that you know will set you free. If you're operating on a fallacy or on a premise that is false, then whatever results you want to achieve, you will not achieve. That's why you see this government trying to do a lot of things which are not working. Why? Because the premise that they are using to find these things or to establish these things is a false premise. Whenever you want something to work, you begin it on a premise of truth. Okay? So what is the truth concerning this thing? What is the feeling of the public? Is this a current need in society? So when there's a disconnect between what you're doing and what the people want, or what you're doing and what the need is, then these people will feel agitated. No matter what you do, they will be against it, they will be opposed to it, despite how beautiful that thing looks. Because you are not aligned to the current needs of the people. You are not reading the room. You are not discerning the times and the seasons that the country is in. And so you have plans, which are grand plans, which are good plans, and it's okay. But the timing and the priorities are all jumbled up. You're doing the right thing at the wrong time. So you cannot misappropriate resources to go do something that people do not currently need. The current need of the Kenyan people is someone who can repair their fabric, the Kenyan fabric. And what is the Kenyan fabric? This is the thing that holds Kenyans together. Kenyans are naturally very friendly people, very welcoming people, very courteous people. That is why many nations in the world come to visit Kenya, and the reviews online are just amazing. Why? Because as a people, we are not violent. We are very welcoming, friendly, and tolerant to a lot of different nationalities and characters. But when you see Kenyan people turning violent, Kenyan people having a sort of anger and vitriol that you have never seen before, people are suddenly ready to explode at any mention of the leadership of this country, then there is something wrong with the leadership. And this is not something that has happened within one day. It is a constant repetition of actions that have been fueling the anger that Kenyans have. So the continuous ignorance or ignoring of complaints of the agitations that people have, it causes the people now to feel like no one really cares about them, and that's why they react the way they do. So the fabric of the country is broken, and without the fabric, despite how much you will try to do any physical stuff, it will not work, because what gives satisfaction to any human being is the satisfaction of the soul. And right now the Kenyan soul is hurt, it is broken. So we need a leader who can fix the Kenyan soul first before you can go to the body. The body, whatever you do on the exterior, is of no use if the people you are doing it for are displeased with you. So there is a disconnect between the political class or the ruling class and the citizenry that elected them. There is a disconnect in that there is like a detachment. So whatever you will do, despite it being, flowery and presentable to the eye, as long as you don't have the courage to address the main issue which is in the country right now, which is that the moral fabric of the country is broken. So we need you as leaders to step up and address that issue ASAP, immediately. Otherwise, you are going to do what you're doing in the pursuit of development and all these things, and people are going to rubbish it like there's nothing you have done, because it's not about the exterior. You first of all heal the person on the inward part, and then they will appreciate whatever you do externally. So as long as you don't have truthful people around you as leaders who will tell you what is the reality, what is the feeling on the ground, then you're going to make missteps after missteps after missteps, just because you cannot simply read the room. So my call to the leadership of this country will be, read the room. If you cannot read the room, find people who can read the room for you and tell you honestly the feedback of what is happening in the ground. Because you might be doing something in your mind thinking that the people will appreciate you, and you're doing it from an honest place. You just want to do good, but you have not understood what the people want. You have not understood the problem, and therefore the more you continue doing these things, you're agitating people and they're going to get more angry with you. So we need men and women who will be ready to accept the truth as it is, not the truth how they expect it. You accept the truth on the ground how it is, then you work on changing it to become what you expect. So I think I will stop it at that. I think that's sufficient enough for whoever will watch. And I pray that even as you watch this video, find truthful people around you and operate with truthful people around you who have no vested interests. When you put people around you who only want you for what you offer and the benefits that come from working with you, then you will never get the totality of the truth of what you're doing. So find people who are ready to tell you the truth, regardless of what will happen. They will not hide it from you, and they will always be truthful. Then you can have meaningful change. So from my end, I think I will stop it at that. I thank each one of you who was tuned in today. Like, share, subscribe this content, and I will see you for the next episode. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Cheers.